welcome. How's everybody doing? How are you, Maggie? Thank you for helping us. Oh, Remo, thank you. I'm very happy to help you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate that. I'm glad we're all here, ready to learn. That's what it's all about, right? When you go into real estate, it's a lifelong of learning, like lifetime of learning. So definitely a very good thing to start now. Why not? All right, guys. So let's get started. Remember, I have my TikTok live schedule here Mondays at 8 p.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m., and Wednesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. But I also go live right here on YouTube Mondays through Thursdays, every Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m., and Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. So, hope you guys are doing well today. Thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Maggie Reyoso, and I'm a licensed real estate instructor. And I also have my real estate school, Maggie's Real Estate Academy, where we have you licensed for a Florida license. All right. So let me know where you guys are from in the chat. Hello, Eileen. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started with today's first question. So while you're putting your city, state, or wherever you're from in the chat, I'm going to head on over to let you guys know about my tutoring. So if you guys are interested in getting tutored, the link is in the description box. I provide tutoring for math, national concepts, and if you're studying for your Florida exam. All right. So hi there, future real estate agents. I love it, Robin McKinley. Thank you so much. All right, Nancy Lynn from Miami, Florida. Fantastic. Awesome. My hometown. Yes. We got Georgia in the house too. Welcome, you guys. I love it. So click on the link in the description box if you're interested in getting tutored, and sign up today so that way we can get you squared away on your real estate exam. All right, guys. Hi, Maggie. I got your book. Oh, thank you, Paula. I hope it's helping you. Jersey in the house. Paula, if you have any questions on my book, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you. All right, guys, here we go. First question out the gate. It says, a seller received a rental payment of $900 in advance. At closing, the seller has earned only $320 of this rent. What should appear on the closing statement? Is it A, debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer for $320? B, a debit. I don't have my phone on do not disturb. Sorry about that. I just got a phone call. Hope that didn't bother you guys. Can you guys still hear me? Oops. All right. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Sorry about that. I did not put do not disturb. Oh well. All right. All right, cool. We can hear me. All right, so B, a debit to the seller for $580 and a credit to the buyer for $320. C, a debit to the seller for $320 and a credit to the buyer for $900. Or D, a debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer for $580. All right. Now, I want to give you guys a little testing technique here. Okay. When it comes down to these type of closing disclosure questions, the number needs to be the same. Whether you're debiting or crediting the buyer, they have to be the same number. Okay, so for example, A has the same number. So it would be like a debit to the seller, credit to the buyer, 320, same number. Whereas, like, for example, B, okay, B says a debit to the seller for $580 and a credit to the buyer for $320. Well, we can go ahead and cross those out because that is definitely not it. So for that matter, we can cross out C as well, okay? Because they're not the same number. They have to be the same number, all right? Hey, Sandra, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So now what we have to do is figure out how much the seller is allowed to keep and or how much the seller has to give back to the buyer. Okay, so remember, if the seller has been given $900 in total for the rent and he's only entitled to 320 of it, that means that the difference of that has to go to the buyer. So what we'll do is we'll just take $900 and we're going to subtract $320 from it. And that's going to give us a total of $580. So that's what the seller has to cough up. So that is going to be a debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer for $580. All right. Oh, Lewis, good luck to you on your Illinois exam. Good luck. Hi, Jay Williams. Thank you for being here. All right. Good job if you said D for this one. Very good. Okay. So I could have canceled A because a debit to the seller, he's already has this whole entire amount of money. So we really can't debit him 320 again. But what we can do is debit the seller the difference. Okay, like we did here. So that way the buyer gets their fair share. All right. All right. Let's see here next up. It says a sale transaction closes on April 1. The day of closing belongs to the seller. Real estate taxes for the year not yet billed are expected to be $2,190. According to the 365-day method, what is the seller's share of the tax bill? All right, so is this going to be the DAM or DAMS method? Remember, we're doing a proration, so it's a tax proration. So are we doing DAM or DAMS? We got two different methods here. So let me know in the chat what you think we are going to be using, DAM or DAMS. So remember, we're talking about real estate annual tax proration. An annual tax proration is, all right, yes, look at you guys in the chat putting DAM. That is right, annual tax proration uses the DAM method. How do we know that? Well, because remember, tax has 3 letters, DAM has 3 letters. Rent has 4 letters, DAMS has 4 letters. And if you're new here, those are the 3 little steps that we're going to take to solve proration questions, okay? So this will be step 1, which is divide. Step 2, add up all the days. And step 3, multiply step 1 times step 2, period. All right, we'll put it into action. So step 1 is divide. We're going to take the amount in taxes and divide it, since it's an annual tax, we're going to divide it by 365 days. All right. And when we do that, we get a total of $6 per day. Okay. Now the second step is to add up all the days. We got to add up all the days. All right. If you guys got the answer, feel free to throw it in the chat already. So remember, we're going to count from January 1. And if it closes April 1st and it belongs to the seller, we're going to include April 1. So all the way until April 1. So we got to count January, February, March, and April. So remember, we're going to use our knuckles now because we're using 365 days. That means we got to use however many days there are in the month. So don't forget your knuckles, right? January, 31 days. Okay, so January is here. February is an indentation, so that's going to be 28 days. March is a knuckle, so 31 days. And then April 1 is just 1 day. So we're going to add them all up. And that is going to give us a total of 91 days. Right? 91. Eileen, let me see. 31 plus 28 plus 31 plus 1. Yes, 91 days. Okay. So now the third step is to multiply this number times this number, period. And we're done. So $6 times 91 days is gonna give us a total of $546. And there you have it. The answer to this one is B. B, B, B. All right? Let me know if you guys have any questions on that. So that's what we use for taxes. Remember, for rentals, for rent prorations where we're doing a monthly, okay, it would be DAMS. We would use the DAMS method, and then it would just be subtract at the end, and we would subtract what we started with and what we got here in step 3, okay? Let me see here, I have a question. If it was the buyer, it would be 90 days. Yes, if closing date belonged to the buyer, very good question. This here would be 0 days. So therefore that would be 90 days, okay? So that's a very good question. Okay, very good. All right, next up says regarding contracts and forms. A, once written and signed, they cannot be changed except by a lawyer. B, real estate licensees may alter forms but not contracts. C, whoever originates them can make changes without the risk of unauthorized practice of law. Or D, the principals may make changes as long as they sign or initial each change. All right, let me know what you guys think the answer is to this one. We're talking about contracts here. What can we do with contracts? Or can we not do? All right. Okay, we're getting some answers in. Good, good. Very nice, you guys. Very good. The answer is D. The principals may make changes as long as they sign or initial each change. Very good. So let's say, for example, you're representing a buyer or a seller, and let's say you're representing a seller, and the buyer submits to the seller something, and the seller is like, you know what, I like this offer, it's not terrible, but I don't want to pay for $3,000 of their closing costs. So what will happen is, where it's written, you will cross it out and have the seller initial it, and then the buyer has to initial it as well, if they want to continue, right? So that is how it's done. Exactly. All right. All right, guys, don't forget about my real estate school, Maggie's Real Estate Academy, where you can do the Florida licensing courses at your own pace online with our school. And you would begin with the 63-hour Sales Associates pre-licensing course. You could find more information through the description box below, or just going to my website at justcallmaggie.com. All right, here we go. Number 4 says seller Frank receives an offer of $290,000 on a property he listed at $308,000. How much is the offer as a percent of the listing price? All right, let's see here. So since we got percents going on here, that means I can definitely bring out the T-chart. Okay, so let me know what you guys think, what we would do here. We got already an answer in. Wow, very good. Okay, so let's look at this carefully. It says seller Frank receives an offer of $290,000. And then it says on this property that he had listed for $308,000. So $308,000 is the total list price. So I could put that here in the T-chart, in the total column, okay? And since this 290 is just a portion or part of this full list price, I'm gonna put that here, 290,000. And now I see that all I have to do is divide, okay? So I'm going to take $290,000 and divide it by $308,000. And that is going to give me 0.94. Okay? But remember, that is not a percent. That is just a decimal that your calculator gave you. Okay? So now all you have to do is say 0.94 and multiply it by 100. And now you get your percent. So 94%. So the answer here is C. So that offer price of $290 is 94% of the sales price or the list price, the original list price, okay? So if I multiplied 308 times 94%, I would get $290,000. So that's another way if you are struggling with how to put this into the T-chart. What you could do is you could always take the list price and multiply it by all these percents until you reach that number, 290,000. Okay, so that's a really good way to use the answers and the information in the question to answer your test, right? Definitely a good way to do it. So my suggestion to you is sometimes when you're at the exam, you're really nervous, you've got all this anxiety going in on you, just read the question, read the answers. And then what I do is like when I click to the next question, I'll check the answers and then I'll read the question. And then I'll read the question, check the answers like that. And see if there's some sort of relationship that they're looking for. All right? All right, here we go. Number 5. At a closing, the brokerage firm was paid a 6% commission and their check was for $3,000. What was the sale price of the property? All right, let me know what you guys think the answer is. So in the meantime, let's take out the T-chart because this is another T-chart question. All right, let me know what you guys think the answer is to this one. Don't be shy. Let me know if you guys are getting any value from this. I hope this is helping you guys. That way you can conquer your math, not be scared of it anymore, and just get all of those questions right. So, you know, it's funny because I used to tutor this one girl, and she's been struggling with the vocabulary and her state portion. So she hasn't been able to pass due to her state portion, but she tells me that every time she takes her exam, she gets all the math questions right. So she's like, oh gosh, Maggie, I love it. You know, like, so that's good. That's positive. All right. So let's see here. What we're going to do is we got this 6% commission. I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to convert it. So 6 over 100 is going to equal 0.06. And then this $3,000 commission is a part of the sales price. So I'm going to put that in the part section. Now divide. So $3,000 divided by 0.06 is going to equal $50,000. So this is another example of using the answers to see what you get. If you know how to work commission, you know that it's based on sales price times this commission rate. If it equals 3,000, bingo, there's your answer. Okay? Very good, you guys. Very good. All right. Let's keep it moving. All right, this is a big one. It says a lender offers the Grays 2 alternative loan packages for their $60,000 home equity application. One option is an interest-only loan for 5 years at 6.5% interest with no points, and the second, a 6.25% interest-only loan for 5 years with 1 point to be paid at closing. Which loan will cost the Grays less total interest and by how much? All right, so let me know. I'm going to actually flip the page and I have the question right here so that way I have some room to work it out. And then that way you guys can see it. So remember how much and what is the total, which one's going to give them the less interest. All right, so I used to be scared of math, scared AF of math, but watching your lives give me the confidence I never had. That is so sweet. Thank you. And I'm so happy. I love spreading math awareness to the world. It's so cool. Well, actually, I can't say that. You know what's funny is that when I first started my real estate career and I was in my pre-licensing course, I remember telling my friend in the course with me that I wanted to help people with the math for real estate. And look at me, 6 years later, here I am helping people with the math. Go figure. You know, but some states don't have math, and then there's some states that have like 14 questions of math. So that's crazy. Crazy, crazy town. All right, so let's work this one out because this one's a little chunky, but it's something we can handle, okay? So we're definitely going to use the formula I equals P times R times T, okay? So let's start off with the first option. So the first option, let's see what it says. So we're going to start off with I equals, because we're trying to find how much interest, right? So we have a $60,000 home equity, that's our principal. One option is interest only for 5 years at 6.5%. So let's start with that one. So 60,000 is our principal. Our rate is 6.5%. So remember to convert it. So 0.065. And then remember, since T is time and based in years, we got 5 years here. So I'm going to put 5 here. Okay? I hope I'm not going too fast. Now I'm going to multiply all of those numbers and see how much total interest was paid in those 5 years with that amount of principal at that rate. That is going to equal $19,500. Okay? Now let's talk about the second option, because that was easy enough. Second option. And we're going to just do the same exact thing. Okay? So I equals, our principal is still $60,000. But now our interest rate is 6.25. So that's 0.0625. And it's also for 5 years. Okay? So this comes out to be, when we multiply all of that out, that is going to end up being $18,750. Okay? But we now see that there is a point that has to be paid on this second loan. So let's find out how much the point is. So points cost. Remember, points are always based on loan amount. So I'm going to take the $60,000 loan amount. And it's 1 point, so that's 1%. So remember, you're going to multiply by 0.01. And that's going to give me $600. So in total, let's see how much these two cost. So now we got to add those two up. So 18,750 plus 600. And that is going to cost $19,500. $350. So that's how much the total of the second loan is, and the first loan is 19.5. So let's see what the difference is. So we're just going to subtract them. 19,500 minus 19,350, and that is going to equal $150. So basically I would go with the second option because it's $150 cheaper. So the answer to this one, I'm going to turn it now so maybe you guys can take a screenshot, or if you're still writing it out, I'll give you a second. Okay, so I'm going to turn it now and we're going to answer the question. Oh, wrong thing. Here we go. The answer is here, B, right? The second option, by $150. Okay, so that would be the answer to that one. So let me know if you guys have questions on this. All right, so here's the work. See if you guys can see that. And the answer was B. All right. All right, guys, if you're still struggling with the math, don't forget to grab your e-workbooks. It's definitely a game changer. It can totally help you understand the concepts in a very easy, clear, and concise manner. It is my offer to you as a former math teacher, to somebody that I understand would maybe struggle with the math, okay? It's very easy to follow, very easy to read. It comes with 100 math practice questions, and on top of it, you could get $5 off with our coupon code VIP5. All right, you could grab it. The description link is in the the link to our bundle is in the description box below, and check it out. You can either grab both of them, or you can grab just volume 1 or just volume 2. And regardless of which one you pick, you could get $5 off with our coupon code VIP5. All right. Number 7. Number 7 says new federal regulation in advertising requires email advertisers to give recipients an option to discontinue receiving emails from such advertiser. This legislation is called A, the CAN-SPAM Act, B, the Truth in Advertising Act, C, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, or D, the Email Advertising Prohibition Act, or EAPA. All right, what do you guys think the answer is to this one? We are talking about email advertising. Very important law that we all need to be aware of. Thank you for those of you that have liked my live. I appreciate you. Thank you all. Appreciate all of you in here as well. It is awesome to be able to bring you guys this kind of information so that we can educate ourselves and be better for our customers, our clients, and everybody out there. All right, I'm seeing a lot of A's in the chat. Awesome, very good. The answer here is A, the CAN-SPAM Act. Remember, the CAN-SPAM Act bans unwanted commercial messages that are sent to wireless devices, okay? And it requires a prior authorization and, the most important, an opt-out provision where they can unsubscribe, okay? Very, very important. Very good, you guys. Glad to see everybody understands the CAN-SPAM Act. Very, very good. All right. Number 8. A broker receives an earnest money deposit from a buyer and signs the check over to the listing agent as a partial commission advance. What is wrong with this procedure? Is it A, nothing, provided the deposit clears the bank and doesn't bounce? B, the broker and the agent are guilty of price fixing? C, the broker has illegally converted security funds for business use? Or D, the agent may not be able to return the advance if the transaction falls through. Okay, let me know what your answer is in the chat. Drop it like it's hot. Let me know what you think. Hey, John. What's up? Fancy seeing you here. All right. What do we have here as our answer? Jay Williams, what's BA? All right, so remember here, the broker is giving earnest money from a buyer to a listing agent. This is a big no-no. Big no-no here. So the answer here is C. The broker has illegally converted security funds for business use. You can't do that, okay? That's conversion, right? The word conversion. Can't use escrow money to pay, what's it called? To pay commissions to an agent, okay? Commissions is basically misappropriating escrow funds, okay, for broker's personal or business use. That's exactly what that is. And remember, price fixing is just where you're setting pricing for a certain area with other brokers, okay, which is extremely illegal. So, good. I hope everybody understands that one. Okay, so that's exactly what this broker is doing, is conversion. Okay, misappropriating funds from escrow for the broker's personal or business use. Very important. Okay, number nine. It says a clause in a sale contract stipulates that the seller must provide evidence that the property is free of active termite infestation. On the day of closing, the buyer learns that inspection service did not provide the required written documentation. The buyer then proceeds to declare that the sale is off. Which of the following is true of this situation? Is it A, the seller can sue for specific performance? B, the buyer will be in default and liable for damages if he does not complete the transaction? C, the buyer may be able to have the contract canceled, or D, the contract is automatically void. All right. Let me know what you guys think here. Oh, okay, that was a typo, sorry. Yeah, I was like, what? What happened here? All right, so drop your answer in the chat. Let's see here what you guys think the answer to this one is. Remember, the buyer is here at closing, and he finds out that the inspection service did not provide the required written documentation. So the buyer's like, wait a minute, I didn't get all the information that I needed to make the purchase. I didn't get all my information that I needed. So because of that, and I'm seeing you guys put the answer in there, you guys are correct. The answer here is C. The buyer may be able to have the contract canceled. Very, very good, right? Because the termite inspection caused the contract contingency, okay? Because if it was required, there was supposedly a contract contingency there. So basically, if no party can meet that contingency by the deadline, then the other party can cancel the contract. Okay? And that's how it goes. All right, so very good. Here we go, number 10. A house is being appraised using the sales comparison approach. The house has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a patio. The appraiser selects a comparable house that has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and no patio. The comparable house just sold for $200,000. A bath is valued at $7,000 and a patio at $2,000. Assuming all else is equal, what is the adjusted value of the comparable? All right? So drop your answer. Don't forget to set it up where you put the comparables characteristics in one column and you put your subject characteristics in another, and then figure it out using, you got it, rabbit, CIA and CBS. Let me know in the chat if you know what CIA and CBS is by dropping a red heart. Sandra, for sure. First DTTS, you got it. So let me know if you do not know what CIA and CBS is. Drop a red heart in the chat and we'll go over CIA and CBS in a minute. All right? So first DTS, that's right. DTTS, then CIA, CBS. I love it. Oh, that was funny. I love it. All right, so remember, DTTS means don't touch that subject. Okay? Don't touch the subject. That's what DTTS means. Now we're going to do CIA and CBS. What does that mean? CIA is if your comparable is inferior, you're going to add. And CBS is the opposite. If your comparable is better, you're going to subtract. All right? So there you got it. CIA, CBS. That's what that stands for. Okay? So that means that all we're doing is if the comparable is not as good as the subject property, we're going to add to the price of the comparable because we don't touch the subject. And here, if the comparable is better, then we're going to subtract to the comparable because we do not touch the subject. Okay? All right, so let's put this into the picture. So we have a subject property and we have a comparable property. The comparable property just sold for $200,000. Okay? The subject property is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a patio. Ooh. Okay? The comparable is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, but no patio. So now let's price these suckers. So it's telling us a bathroom, an extra bathroom is worth $7,000. And the patio is worth $2,000. Okay? So now let's look at this. The 3 bedrooms, they're the same, so let them be. All right, I'm seeing people putting their answers in. Let's check this scenario here. We have the subject has 2 bedrooms and the comparable has 3 bedrooms. So in this scenario, the comparable is better. Comparable is better, so we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract $7,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take $200,000 and I'm subtracting $7,000. And that's going to give me $193,000. Now let's look at the patio. So we have a patio for the subject. Comparable does not have a patio. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a patio. So in this situation, the comparable is inferior. So we're going to add. $2,000. So 193 plus, what was it, 2,000 means that now the subject can be $195,000. So the answer to this one is C. Nice. Look at all those C's in the chat. Very good, you guys. Very, very good. I'm very proud of you guys. You guys did great. You're working super hard. You're learning the concepts. That is what it takes. Okay? Yes, Lee. Very good. Sometimes this is a confusing because you're kind of working backwards. So I understand where a lot of people have confusion with this concept. But not no more, right? Not no more. So if you're still struggling, remember to grab your e-workbook. The link is in the description box below. This is what it looks like. It's a digital workbook, okay? So this is just something that you will get in your email. It will be emailed to you, and it goes from area all the way to proration in this book. And it covers all of this information with little cheat sheets for you at each section. And it walks you through all of these examples step by step, and you're given a chance here to see if you understand the concept. It includes real world use, tips and tricks. It has all kinds of information in here. It's literally my brain dumped in here, my math brain dumped into a workbook. If you are still struggling with the T-chart, it breaks it down on what concepts use the T-chart. It also includes loan to value ratio. It has closing cost information in here, our simple interest formula, which is super important to learn. It also includes proration, what we just did, glossary, formulas, the T-chart breakdown, and right here we have in each book 100 math practice questions similar to what you'll see on the exam based on those concepts in the book. And of course, each book has answers and full explanations in the book. So make sure to check it out. The link is there in the description box where you could get yours today and start working and start feeling a little more confident about yourself and your studies. So don't forget VIP 5 for $5 off. The bundle, volume 1 or volume 2. Grab it now, you guys. All right, here we go. Also, if you need any tutoring, my tutoring link is also included there in the description box so that you could sign up if you are in need of any kind of tutoring. Please note, this is not a magic wand. I don't have a magic wand to be like, ooh, now you are smart and pass the test. No, you have to put your effort in as well, and you have to know where you need help with, okay? So that way we can work together and get you to pass, okay? So also my Florida Real Estate School, Maggie's Real Estate Academy, where we provide you all the real estate licensing courses that you need. This would be the course that you would begin with if you are just beginning for your Florida license. Also, if you want another license or you need some other information, there's also a description in the description box. There's a link there for other states, or if you're looking for study guides or what have you, there's something in there as well. You can find out more information at my website, justcallmaggie.com. I also want to remind you guys of scammers. Please do not fall for the scammers. I will never contact you, reach you, ask you for money, none of that, okay? So here's your quote for today. Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. So get out there, make it happen, and you'll see success will be right around the corner. All right, you guys, here's my YouTube live schedule every Monday at 11 a.m., Tuesdays at 4 p.m., Wednesdays at 4 p.m. as well, and Thursdays at 11 a.m., all Eastern time. Don't forget to follow me right here at Just Call Maggie, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe here to my YouTube. I am at Just Call Maggie on all my socials. Thank you all again so much for being here. I appreciate your support. Need anything, feel free to visit me at justcallmaggie.com. Have you a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 11 for our Thursday Live. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.